So it's actually the next day now from the last time you saw me. And there's been a development. So my friend turned up. He drove from London all the way to the valleys, over 5 hours. He got here, we had a cup of tea, and we went out and said, let's go down the homestead and empty the van. Well, we got to the homestead and had the realization he'd left his key in London. So we can't get in the van. So he offered to drive all the way back to London, get the key and come back. And I said, no, that's a ridiculous suggestion. Let's get the key sent down by Royal Mail and it will be here the next day. Well, it is the next day and the key has got as far as the next valley. So it's in Wales. So now we're just waiting for it to be delivered to the house. So it should get here by 1 o'clock, but I'm hoping that it'll get here a lot sooner than that. So it was fireworks night last night. So we went to the pub, had some food. The streets were full of smoke. You couldn't see a single thing. I was going to get the camera out, but you literally couldn't see 6 foot in front of you, that the smoke was so heavy. So, had an early night. I've woken up and now just waiting for this delivery. So hopefully it will come. Otherwise, we'll just be sat here twiddling our thumbs and drinking tea. Right, a parcel's just turned up. Hopefully, these are the keys. There they are, the keys for the van. So let us now go back 24 hours and go back to the future. Now you may think, how did he drive down if he didn't have the keys? Well, because this is a London van, it's all about the added security. So the key for the front is a different key for the back of the van, because it has been broken into a few times up in London. So this is why the key was different. And I can't remember what I left behind, to be honest. So it'll be much of a surprise to me as it will be for you. And also, I didn't tell him what things to bring. So maybe these are the apple trees. And we've got some dead chairs. We've got some of the Queen Elizabeth roses. And what else have we got? Anyway, I'll just put you in there and you can see better. Load of pots. Those hanging baskets will come in order. Will come into handy use. Some seed trays. And also a strimmer. And Jeff's cooker. Jeff gave me this years ago. And a knee pad, which I will be needing that. Right, let's start to unpack. So that's the first lot, but there's still quite a bit to go. And there's a tank there that I had from one of my plots. So all this represents something from at least every allotment that I've had in my entire life. So it'll be good to have them back around. Sometimes you don't realise you miss things until you haven't got them.
I've had this for about 15 years. It's been on my cheek end. This was given to me by Jeff from his old caravan, and it is sponge that I used for a bench in all my sheds, so it'll be nice to put that back into commission. So there's a load of tools here, but these are actually not mine. These were left in one of my sheds, or these were in the shed in London when I turned up. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't need them, I'm going to donate these to a local charity. But this I do want. This is for doing my either liquid manure in or saving water. But it feels quite heavy, so I wonder if he's put things inside. Oh, look at that. More pots. I will never buy a pot again. In fact, those pots there are the pots I bought from Wilco's before it shut down the first time. Now, I'm not going to sort it out today and sit there for 24 hours. I'll come back tomorrow and sort it out. There's the rest on this side. That's some of my very old fence from the rusty allotment from 17, 18 years ago. And then all that is for the foundations for the shed. But he wanted to test out his spade, so he's just dug down here. And he thinks the soil is wonderful. In fact, he wished he could have the plot himself. I wouldn't put a mat to it because there's quite a consistency of coal there. So, have a quick cup of tea now when he stops. He loves digging, does this lad. So while he gets on with that bit there, I'm going to put the base down. So I'm just looking down this bit of wood now to make sure that it's nice and level, there's no kinks, because I'm going to use this for putting the base. So we'll just turn that over as well. Is that nice and straight to you? Look at that, that's a beautiful bit of wood. So I'm going to put this down now on the ground, like so, and then we're going to put a level in. And oh, look at that, the fox have been and pooed. And then if you look at that, perfectly level. Now this cost about $12.99. Now I could have bought a level that's the size of this board, but that's £120. So that's why I'm doing it this way, because if I was going to do a bit more building I might have considered it, but as a hobbyist, doing it this way is the best way for me. Right, so now let's move on to the next bit. Now it might not look it on the video, but this ground is more or less level. So just check it all through. Now there's one or two bits that need to come up and need to come down, but we can always remedy that in the cooking. Look at that, see? Beautiful. So now, the next bit. So the base is being made up of these reinforced grids, which I've used before, and I can't remember the cost now, so I'll put the cost on the screen, and I'll also put the cost over on my blog. If you go over to SeanJamesCameron.com, you'll see all the costings. But this is a, there you are, plastic frame. In fact, I will take it out and show you how I'm going to do it. So there we go, plastic's down. I bought far too much because I want to keep some for the greenhouse and also for the pond, because I think it will work very nicely for the pond. It's the type of stuff I've used in the past before, so I can't see it being a problem. So the idea is, you get one of these, you find the sections on the end, then you find the grooves on the other side, and you just slot it in, and there's the base of your shed done. So you slot it in, and then you just press it down, and it slots in. Beautiful. Now I'm not sure why, but I've ended up with a few little spare pieces. But this is the base of the summer house, and at this stage it looks quite big, but with all these things, once you get the erection up, it looks quite small. And now we just pop the stones in. Now they say if you haven't got many stones, just do the outside and don't bother with the centre. Then you just get the rake and you rake them in.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the night. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to fall from within.
So we put the gravel in, put the board back down to see if it's level, and the bubble is in the middle. Perfect. Now unfortunately we got so into the task at hand I forgot to pick up the camera, so this is where we are so far. There we go. We got the level here, and it says that it's absolutely spot on. So let me just walk around to the side to show you. There are the windows. Windows will be able to open. Go into the shed for a cup of tea. Then look out through the square window onto the flower bed. And as for the rest of the garden, it's been trimmed and that little bed's turned over, and you can see here, just walk down where the path will be. This is where the path will be located, and if I just turn around, that is what it looks like from the top end. Well, the temperature's dropping and so is the energy levels, so I think it's a little walk to the pub for a bit of dinner to get the energy back, and hopefully tomorrow will be a nice day and we can crack on. But I think I'll get a few pints for the lad. So now we are putting the piece across the top, the lintel I think it's called, but look how level that is. Beautiful. This might be the complicated bit. This is what the shed looks like. Oh look, it's got a bit of a chimney. But in real life, it looks like the biggest puzzle you ever did see. Now it says it can be built with 2 people, but we're having to improvise. That's the first section of the roof is in. So here we are. We're getting an idea of how they put the pyramids together. So this is what it looks like. The glass needs to go in, but that is on another day. And also, these are all the little finicky bits to go around, like the outside and there, which I will do on another day. I'm not going to open the doors to go in because they're fixed for the time being. We just need them to dry out slightly. But that's what it looks like. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be, but I'm happy with it. So what do you think of it? It's amazing what a pair of helping hands can do. Now, my friend's about to go back to London. I have to make sure he's got the key for the van in his top pocket. And once he's left, I'm going to have a nice long cup of tea in a very warm bath with soap suds maybe. Right, I'll catch up with you next time. So from me until then, bye for now.